What do you think, JR? Okay, I tried this yesterday and it was really windy, and now it's a little bit different here. Please excuse the scenario here. But anyway, this is going to be video one of maybe 2 or 3 videos. What you're going to need is a pen and paper. A lot of people don't write anymore, they type and text, but here we're going to have you write some stuff out. Now, this video hopefully will be really quick, and I'm gonna scan through this. This is a mandatory video everybody's gonna have to see. At any given time, put it on pause and do read up on things. But anyway, I'm Thomas Wasson. Anyway, there's a Roger and a Pat, and the three of us got together, and we were doing already everything associated to I guess per se this religion or spiritual way of life. And more and more people started coming around, and as you can tell, there's about 120 people on Facebook alone, and we have other people that are not capable of getting on the internet that we are currently dealing with. So anyway, growing up in San Antonio, Texas, that's where I was born and raised. Right off the bat, I'm going to start off with when I was born abnormally, and there was something stuck in my chest that prohibit food and air to go properly down that way. And my mother took me to doctors, which are, AMA doctors, American Medical Association doctors, and they were not giving me really good longevity on life. So what my mother did, she went to what they call in Spanish a curandera, which is a healer, a holistic healer of sorts. What the healer told my mother is to go to the herb store, and that's called a yerbaria. In San Antonio, growing up, there were about 3 or 4 of those there. So anyway, all this is going to come down, be put together down the road. So what happened is that my mother came back with all the products, ingredients, whatever, and gave it to the healer. And the healer person, at the same time, the healer was also had those Catholic candles, and there was sage, and and I didn't know none of this until I started getting older in life, and my mother started telling me about these things. Especially when one of the mandatory deals was that when I was little, that the healer wanted me to come visit at least once or twice a year. Not always, we'd go see the healer once or twice a year, and I didn't understand why, but later on in life I did. And really surprising is that the healer, what I think she got paid like $20 and a bottle of Jack's, which was a quart of beer. So anyway, here I am because of healer and $20 and a quart of Jack's beer. Anyway, that's set aside. Now, what we will be able to partake in here is we can do ceremonies, teepee ceremonies, vision quest. There's going to be other ceremonies, sweats. When I talk about teepee and sweats, I'm talking about family and friend sweat, not doctoring sweats. Those are completely different. I'm not authorized to do none of those doctoring of that magnitude. Sweats, family and friends, teepee meetings, non-peyote. A lot of us are going to get educated on this. Right now it's a beautiful day, Indian summer, I guess. Behind me is the teepee. I'm at a friend's house right now. And the background is Diamond Mountain. Diamond Mountain Range. That's what it's called. So anyway, from here on out, we're going to be dealing with a lot of sacraments and a lot of different, from dream catchers to, medicine bags and, gathering. Right now I'm thinking about having to go get all the sage smudge sticks right now. But anyway, back to sacrament. And currently the big sacrament nowadays is marijuana. And, I don't care to call it marijuana that much. I am going to call it sacrament from here on out. A lot of controversy back and forth. I myself don't care much for it, but I understand its value behind it holistically and health-wise. And, you will research that a lot on the internet. So anyway, don't be afraid to research me, Thomas Wasson. You can Google that, or Google that with many other words. The other words are Divine Strake. Another one, Winnemucca Indian Colony. Do all those together. The website that we will be at is www.spiritwithavision.org. All one word, spiritwithavision.org. That will be, most of this will be online. The other one is, there's 2 Facebook pages. One of them is Facebook Spirit with a Vision. That's for everybody, whether you partake or don't partake in the ceremonies, or you're just a watcher or a helper or what have you. But if you're going to be partaking in ceremony involving the sacraments, then you would have to be a member of Facebook, and that other Facebook would be called La Yerbaria de Swav, meaning the herb store of Swav. And Swav is SWAV. That stands for Spirit with a Vision. So anyway, that's what the 3 of us decided, because we started noticing more and more people were starting to engage this way, and everybody's jumping up left and right, jumping into this religion, that religion, no religion. But more people are starting to understand the values and the concepts of being more together with the land. So I'm going to go right off into trials and tribulations. I'm not one of these, I think I'm just going to do this for profit and go from there. What you'll notice on the Facebook page, Swav Facebook, is I'll post those up there. The tribe itself was in a dysfunctional situation, I believe created by the government. And it started off with, it started off with my uncle being killed and the tribe going into some kind of disarray, which landed us in the Supreme Court 14 years later. And we got a favorable decision from the United States Supreme Court. Another one, there's going to be a picture of a check issued out to me for $1. In those 14 years, we had an election and where me, my father, and 2 other people got arrested wrongfully by the BIA. What happened is that we had our election, and before we had the election, we got arrested, the election committee members, and we push, and finally, years later, the government was found guilty on 23 different charges of wrongful arrest. What happened, and the reason I bring that out, the reason I'm bringing all these legal matters out is it's kind of like my resume, where the government wants people to be at and where people can actually be at. That $1, as a result of that $1, before that, when we went to court and accused the government, the district attorney, the federal district attorney, gave me an option. Okay, drop the charges and we'll give you $5,000. And, well, what that means is that if we drop the charges, the government never is found to be guilty. So instead of that, I didn't take that avenue. We proceeded to court. Well, the first thing that happened is that the attorney got denied a jury. And we believe that the reason that the attorney got denied a jury is because the jury will usually find out that we're guilty, or they were guilty, and will give damages. But when a judge is put into place, then the judge decides how much the damages are, and not a jury. So keep in mind that point. Anyway, down the road, figured out, we won the case, and I got a $1 check. That's what was decided upon. And it was really interesting, because now you can see that this all gave me experience to be in front of this mic telling you this. The government, what it wanted to do was not be looked bad at. It was indicated, the government was indicating, look, we know we did wrong. Here's your $5,000. Now go away and don't put it into record. But if you're going to put it into record, more than likely, the attorney's not going. Any attorney down the road is not going to want to take up this kind of a case, because they're not going to get paid what they want to get paid, and then you are going to end up getting $1. So if you can see the contrast in those two different things. The Supreme Court case, that was many arraignments, many depositions, going to court here, there, San Francisco, Reno, D.C. And you just got to keep up with it and keep going and keep trudging through all these things. The reason I'm bringing a lot of this up is because with Native Americans, as you will notice here, there's this will be one video of probably 2 or 3. Here's a pamphlet, 22 pages of laws that apply to Native Americans, and there's going to be about 6 or 8 of them. These are just laws that apply to Native Americans, and there's going to be different laws that we will be working with. So anyway, I got 2 more pages going through here. Next page. Remember, at any given time, put a pause, and the reason you got pen and paper in front of you is so you can write down any kind of question that you might have. Anyway, first off, the religion. It's a privilege to have or engage in a higher power, God, what have you, creator. It's not a right, it's a privilege that we have. The laws that we're going to follow religiously, and when I say religiously, I'm talking about my definition, not what some court, and all these words are going to be the same thing too. Whatever we decide the definition of those words are, not no court, not no other government, not no other religion. And it's been established for a real long time. And this is the same thing that the chiefs came out in. And the ones that I'm talking about is from the south is Cuauhtemoc, and the north is Seattle, Chief Seattle. Yes, it's named after a chief, like Seattle, Washington, Chief Joseph, Tecumseh, and Winnemucca. These are my guidance principles that I'm following. Now, there's 2 more in there, and there's a statement that was written by Glenn Wasson. It was a contrast of how Native Americans viewed the planet and how the Eurocentric ways viewed the planet. 2 different situations. And to back that up is Leonard Lowry's Q&A session with somebody from the Department of UNR, University of Nevada. And when you put all this together, you will see a linear upkeep of our religion that you will be partaking in. The Glenn Wasson abstract you will find on the